Hello and welcome to another episode of me sucking at poker and getting lucky. I'm Lightning and yeah, we're back on a 50-cent $1 table on PokerStars. Waiting for our first hand. I think I want to talk about a table image today. Playing it right so you get a lot of action and you're not getting called too often when you're bluffing as well, which is basically pretty hard to accomplish because when you play a lot of hands, most of the better players will call you a lot. And this is where reading abilities really come into play, and you have to make bluffs when the opponents fold and not when they're calling, most likely, because then others will eventually figure that out, that you're bluffing a lot, and then you will lose a lot of money and a lot of hands, and that's not really what you want to do when playing poker. So first hand here we have the Jack 8. This guy is raising. I think I want to play the first hand. Don't really have a read or anything. Okay, I changed my mind there. Obviously not calling $8 more with the Jack 8 offsuit. King 3 here in the small blind. I just fill it up to $1. I want to bet this as it is a dangerous flop, and yeah, I take it down. It's just fine with the king with no kicker. Queen Jack on the button. I'm almost certainly gonna raise this. Calming raises to 10. I think I'm gonna give that up. I don't really have a read on this guy right now, and I don't want to play a huge pot, even though I had position in this hand. I could have queens, kings, or aces, and then I'm really dead. Re-raise again. And another re-raise. I have to play a little bit tighter. Right from the beginning, as there's a lot of re-raising going on right now. It's almost no hand where no one re-raised pre-flop, which is quite insane. That's okay, we're gonna fold now. A lot of the hands we normally play, like Queen Jack, Queen 10, Jack 10. Unless we are in a really good position, I'm gonna fold the A6 on it again. It's a normal raise, 5-handed, but with these kinds of re-raises, I would certainly not recommend to raise there under the gun. This is a raising hand, obviously. But let's just see what happens. I think we'll get no action with it. But maybe we are getting surprised here. Oh, there's a raise. At least a raise. Now I can just turn back the tides and raise to 10. And most likely we'll fold. Yeah, but that's fine. Excuse me. Gonna fold the ace-5 out of position. 5-9, not good enough to play. Will I ever try to raise 6-7? And I might call a re-raise even, because it's not likely that I'm running against a hand that has one of my cards if I get a re-raise there. And if I run against Ace King, Ace Queen, it plays pretty good, with like 40% against it. He's calling. I have an open-ended. Don't like the jack, especially with him calling in the big blind. But I have to continue to bet this. Don't want to get re-raised here. And he's calling. I'm putting him on Jack 10 or King Jack maybe. Let's just continue in case we hit our straight on the river. He might have 9-10 suited. And if he had Jack 10, that's not a good card for him. Don't put him on a 9. I have to bluff with a 7 high. He might call with King Jack. Nope. That's great. I think he had King Jack there. Well, the most likely hand in that situation. Drink. Under the gun raise from a big stack. I got King 10 in the big blind. That's, I don't know. It's a hard decision. I'm just calling it for hitting a straight or 2 pair or something. That's not it. Could maybe float if he doesn't bet too much. Oh, let's give it up. That wasn't a good spot to call there. And he immediately left the table. Probably had something decent said and was upset that I didn't call. Don't know, of course. Could just be that he wanted to stop anyways. Divertonium. What kind of nickname is that? Sounds like some chemical stuff. 10 jack suited and the gun four-handed is a pretty good starting hand, I would say. I wouldn't like him to re-raise, because then I'm out of position. But everyone else I'm probably calling, and this is a good flop to continue from under the gun, unless he has King Queen or Ace King or something. And I can take it out. It's good because the king that I'm likely to have, they have spades, so he probably will continue with a spade flush draw. But a 3 and a deuce calling out of the big blind when I'm raising under the gun is very unlikely. So all he can have pretty much is King Queen or Ace King. I wouldn't recommend to call with King Jack to an under gun raise like I did before with the King 10. I wouldn't normally do that, and I think no one on this limit will. So I'm basically either he has King Queen or Ace King, or I can take it down with a continuation bet, and that's why I want to make that continuation bet all of the times with that flop in this situation. I'm probably gonna try to raise him here with a Quack Gene with the Queen Jack. Quack Gene sounds nice. That's my new nickname for this hand, Quack Gene. Come on, I got the Quack Gene, just fold. Thank you, fold your Gentech. 3 deuces is about as worse as it could get on the button. Queen 7, the computer hand. It's the average hand where you are 50% against a random hand, in case you don't know. So if you raise and anyone calls, you're basically not 50% anymore, you're worse than that. Maybe against something like 6-7 suited or 7-8 suited, you're a favorite, but anything else is either 50-50 or you're behind. Of course, there are hands like Queen 6, Queen 5 suited, but they're not calling very often to raise their Queen 10 suited another gun. Let's just try this. Still don't want him to re-raise, of course. The call is fine, not my favorite there, but that's okay. Let's just check this. Maybe I can get more money out of, I don't even know, maybe a pair of 8s or something. There's not a lot of hands that will call me that I've beat. Now he's betting 5. Let's just call this once. A 4 is pretty nothing. Could have 9s or 10s. And you should probably check this right now. And you could also have a king, and that's why I'm folding right now. I would have liked a jack of diamonds or something roll off on the turn. But yeah, I have to call once I check the flop and just give it over to him. Still have middle pair, but yeah, I don't know if he outplayed me there or bluffed me out. I don't think he did. I think he had king jack or better in this spot almost all the times. 4, 5. Let's just try. Let's multi-way and maybe I can bluff it off. With this flop, I don't think anyone has anything decent there. Do I want to raise? I think I do. I still can hit a 6 to a straight, but it's not a great hand. I'm basically putting him on nothing. Maybe a pair of 9s. Wouldn't think he would fold that. I still hope he has nothing. And he's calling. I have to put pressure on him now. Betting half a stack. Hope he didn't call with the ace jack of hearts or something. And he calls. I have to go all in now. Pair of 9s, yeah. Oh, that's pretty bad. I put him on the hand he had and he didn't fold it. Could argue about checking the river there, because there was no scare card. But he just called on the turn because he had a gut shot, I think. So, yeah, I'm not so sure about... Normally, one should fold the pair of 9 there, I think. Do I want to push all in with this? Nope. I think you should fold the pair of 9s. But, I mean, it was a good call, but most of the times I will have something like 9-10. Jack 9. Or something like 2 pair on the flop when I re-raise there. Yeah, I could have the king queen of hearts. It was unlucky that there was no heart rolling off, but I'm not even sure if I would have bet that. Hard to say. But yeah, it's just raises. Well, he would have called it the 6 rolls off on the river as well. I'm getting re-raised, which is bad with the queen 3. I think he would have called there with a 6 on the river as well. And okay, the deuce is pretty bad for my hand as well, because it's just so unlikely I have a deuce or anything. And he can beat 7-8 with the deuce coming off. If I had like 7-8, then he would have made a better hand with that deuce, and I think that's why he called the river as well. a 7 or 8 on the river would probably be better. More likely I would have something like this. This is a nice flop for my ugly hand. And he's calling. I have to bet this. Not a lot, but I have to bet this. Just to see where I am. Because he will raise the straight right now. And he doesn't do it. So unlikely he has a 10, but possible, of course. Let's just see what he wants to bet. 23, I will call this, and he has aces. That's basically very dangerous what he just did there, calling twice with aces and then betting into me. I could easily have 10s or something like, and then I have to ship and he has to call because it's too much in the pot already. Yeah. I think this flop is to be re-raised 100% of the times with just aces. And he should have re-raised pre-flop, obviously. But, yeah, I don't know. People try to play dangerous nowadays. Don't really know why. I mean, this guy went with the dangerous. He's always raising. Fuck you. I had enough of this. I mean, 3-7 doesn't play very good out of position against 3-raise, but this guy is raising every hand. I want to get to a showdown cheap now. I want to see what he holds. And it's just very bad cards rolling off here. It's very likely he has just an ace-5 or something. Yeah. Almost have to give that up as well. Yeah, I can call. He will push all in on the river. I should have re-raised with the 3-7. Let's just put this on. I don't like to play with half stacks, and he's re-raising again. I now have to call. This is just insane. He's checking. What does he want to do? 13. It's just fold against 2 players with a 3-high flush draw. I don't understand his check. Maybe he has the nuts already. I don't know. Yeah. Looked very fishy to me. Queen Jack, so he raised with the Queen Jack. So, yeah, I knew he was very loose and raising with a lot of shit. And he called with the Queen Jack and both hit their queen, and I can catch a break with a pair of 3s there. Probably should have went all in pre-flop. Yeah, this is a very, very loose table. Raising with a lot of hands. And I'm not playing very great either. Already down 106 bucks. Or even more. Yeah. Oh, I'm down even more. 122.50 or something. But with this loose table, where everyone's just calling and re-raising, I think I can win it back very quickly. If I'm getting a little bit lucky at least. Just need some hands to hold up. And to make some hands, of course. Y'all leech and do something. Like fold. Thank you. Always my favorite move when they just fold. Raises here. This is another guy, it's not the same as before. I can't catch anything, it's just bet 3. 1074. Oh, come on. Why am I not rebuying? Oh, sorry. Return to the same mode if required. I don't really get what I just set up, but I think it is that I automatically want to rebuy to the maximum, but I'm not really sure. Now I have the nuts, obviously. This is a really tough spot. I don't know how much to bet. I think one is likely to have 2 pair there, and one is likely to have a flush draw, so let's just bet 20. I'm not so sure if that's correct. I didn't think I would get a call out of someone. It's too obvious that one of 3 has a 10 for straight there. I need to play against him with a decent hand and then let him bluff into me. But it looks like he catches a lot of cards, like with the queen jack against the queen jack and the 2-3 c1 with a flush on the river. That's basically very lucky. He had the worst of it. He was at least suited and I had a pair. He had the worst of it. We raised pre-flop, which is fine, I think, if he spots weakness. But then he caught a miracle. I mean, both of them had just 4 outs on the flop. And he had an open-ender, flush and top pair, flush draw and top pair. That's pretty insane. But as you can see, aggressiveness always gets rewarded. So I should have probably raised him pre-flop. It's a lot of big pots. I wanna... what the pot sizes actually are. 204, 145, 75, 39, 36. So, yeah, a lot of money going through the hands. Just 24 minutes of playing. And he bets again. A6. Oh, he's so lucky. What is he doing in there with the A6? There was nothing for him. He had a 6-high flush draw in the gut shot. And this guy had 2 pair. What is he doing? He's getting so lucky. Just fold the 8-3. This guy is really lucky and aggressive, and it pays off for him, as you can see. Just want to play against him right now, and this is my favorite hand, so I most likely will end it with a straight on the river and he makes a flush or something. But I don't care. I want some of my money back. And yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I don't even want to play. He's not folding to anything, I think. I just want to bet into him if I have a hand. If I ever make one. He's probably gonna have ace-5 now. Or maybe pocket 4s. I think he's gonna bet 14 right now. 7. Could be king 9. Raise to 16. Wow. I have no idea what they're holding. he could really have a weak king. Or maybe a 3 or like a pocket pair of 7s or 8s. And he had king queen. That was a nice re-raise there. Queens. Was a stupid bet on the river, and he took advantage and re-raised it to. I think he could have re-raised more. Would look like a bluff most of the time, I think. Just re-raised it to 30. Then he has a tough decision with just $9 more. He almost has to call with a pair of queens there. Also, he can't beat anything but a bluff. I think I want to limp here because he's re-raising every hand, and I want to catch him cheap. I want to get into the flop cheap and then have a nice hand. Get paid. He is folding. Just call him. I have a gut shot. Just overbet the pot there. Ha! That's so freaking lucky. I want to look like a steam right now. But no one even cares. It's probably no one has anything. He's just multi-tabling, taking a lot of time. It's calling. Calling again. Think about that. Could have a pair of 10s. Could have. Wow, and a jack rolls off. What else? I'd have to bet this. Who cares? Maybe he has a pair of queens or 10s. And he's thinking, that's good. That's good news. He doesn't have a jack. And I am looking very steamy right now. Losing the last pot like I did. Just so lucky that I didn't rebuy this hand. He will probably call with a pair of 10s there. Yeah, 9s. That's nice. So bluffing here isn't really a good idea. Don't think I will try another big bluff. I mean, it would have worked against him there if he hadn't made that miracle straight on the river. I mean, how often will this guy have a 6? They're re-raising me pre-flop, betting the flop. He was right not to re-raise. My bad, because I'm most likely bluffing. Or I have a bigger straight, or just a 6, so he either splits, or I will not call a re-raise, or I will move all in because I have the nuts. And there's basically no point in re-raising my big bet there. So that was just unlucky that he hit that straight that I was pretending to have. But it's nice that the auto buy-in option doesn't work. Because I just lost a big pot, I had 8 with the next one, and I just had 75, where I could have made 100 out of him, I think. Wouldn't have made a difference if I bet 75 on the river or 50. We'll play against him again. Maybe he is bluffable now, because I just showed a huge hand on the river. I didn't want him to call. That's pretty stupid. And there's another one in. I will try to... Oh yeah, forget it. I wanted to bet like 25% of the pot. Make it look like I have a full house or a king or something. We're still down 85. Oh, sorry, 75 bucks. This is a nice table. I like the action. I like that it's multi-way a lot of the times with something nice in the middle. I mean, I didn't make a huge chance, just the one straight, and I got aces twice, but no action on one of it. A lot of action on the other, so yeah, it's quite okay. Got unlucky a couple of times there as well, so yeah, choosing the wrong spots to bluff. And this is a little bit better table than I played the last couple of episodes. This is not 25-50, it's 51, and you can notice the difference, I think. They are thinking a lot better about the hands, and they call with a pair of nines there, where at 25-50 most of the guys would just fold. And he's really multi-tabling a lot. Oh, he's just a total beginner that has to think about every step he makes. Would explain the pocket nines call there, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not with me. Sorry, I have to erase them here. It's way too fast. And yeah, okay, he's pushing. Probably has ace king, but I can call with 8-9. Just don't get it how they always wake up with the hand in the battle of the blinds. And that's just unlucky. Should have called this raise, maybe. But I mean, how often do I re-raise pre-flop? That's a nice turn. And normally I would raise here, but with him just shuffling on me there, I'm not too excited to raise that. And he's gonna have an ace and not falling anyway, so 8-10, well, didn't expect that. That's a flop that a lot of his range is right in, like up until the queen jack, and he's re-raising already to 18. I have to give that up as well. As you can see, it's a lot tougher to win here. In my last videos, almost everyone on the flop just folded all the time. And here's a lot of re-raising going on. So we have to stop with our continuation bets. Or at least with the high percentage we did it. We have to adapt to this game. But I mean, I'm trying to re-raise, but it's not working out well either. So we have to get a little bit lucky against these guys and maybe catch a big hand and then continue to bluff. I mean, I've shown aces against this guy already, but it looks like it's more or less a table full of maniacs that never fold and always re-raise. So you have to have some hands, otherwise you can't beat them. You have to value bet your hands and hope you get all the money in. I'll try to catch a queen out of 4. There's a 5 on my favorite card. There's a 3. Can just check it. He won't believe a deuce is in my hand, and I win it anyway. So, why did he have king queen? Maybe, yeah, king queen of spades. Was lucky with that call, but it was just 150. I'm not going crazy if I hit a queen on the flop as a top pair, because just have a 4 kicker. Oh, he's not re-raising there. I thought he might do it. I would have just called then. Not given him the chance again to push all in. Can fold this. I really would like to have position on these two. Because this side of the table is very, or not very, but it's pretty tight. And this side is going nuts. Every hand, basically. So I would like to sit here. But yeah, it's fine to sit here as well. I now know what to do against these guys, and I will eventually catch a hand and get paid off, I think. And I have a nice stack to double up. That's pretty good. And I have ace king. That's pretty nice. Normally I wouldn't go crazy with ace king here, but he's re-raising every hand. That's quite good. If he's pushing, I'm almost instantly calling. He's calling. I want to check that. Oh, maybe I had a flush draw with a jack or something. Should have checked it. I don't know. I was really hoping he would bet the flop there. Don't know why he checked. That's good. Didn't want to see a call there. Don't really get why he checked there. You can't watch it. I'm raising to 3, he raises to 9.03, and then I'm raising to 24, he calls, I check the flop, and he checks 2, which basically means he has hit something or has a pocket pair of some sort. And when he calls a turn, I don't know if he just had it as a diamond draw. Looks like maybe queen jack of diamonds or something like that. Maybe just a diamond draw, or maybe still a pocket pair, but that would maybe a pair of tens. But he should have re-raised there pre-flop, maybe. But I can't really say what he had. He played kind of weird. And I did too. If I had just bet the flop and he called, it would give me more information there. That's nice, flopping a flush against the maniac. But we were very deep stacked, so I have to be careful not to run into a higher flush, as mine is not really very high. So I will just call and make it look like I have a flush draw. This is a great card in case he has ace king or something like king of clubs or some straight draw now. We'll certainly continue to bet this. He's betting 10. Don't think he will have a flush there, betting 10. I would think he bet less. So I want to raise now. Yeah, that's nice. Why do I even raise? I knew the club would come off on the river. That's great that he checked. I would have called maybe, I'm not sure. It depends on how much he bet. But I was quite sure he didn't have... He had the straight on the turn. Oh my gosh. What the fuck with the club on the river? I could have gotten way more out of him there. He had the freaking nut straight on the turn. And he just calls. And then a king of clubs rolls off. Oh, come on. I could have gotten at least another big bet on the river. He had to call there. And I'm re-raising on the turn because I put him on maybe ace king. I didn't say he had ace king, but it was a possibility. And yeah, that's just messed up. He had no outs, he was drawing that. Just no club, and I can get another big bet out of him. Ah, come on. Oh, sorry. I mean, already there were 5 clubs out of the game. How the frick does another club come off? It always happens when I flop a flush. It's like half the time there will come another suit that I don't want to see. It's just insane. Just insane. And then he has the ability to just call on the turn and not re-raise, protecting a straight or something. Yeah, I know this short stack re-raises me. Insta folding there. Maybe if he calls, I'm thinking about it. 5 into 19. At least I don't look like an idiot raising under the gun with garbage. So I paid that for the odds and the image. No, there's a 7. Yeah, still, I would like to call this all in there, and he has to call it now. And there's a 6, nuts on the river. Aces. Oh man. Yeah, what can you do? That's why I called. He wanted me in the pot as well, as he was very short stacked. It was a very good decision, I think, because what did he want was 40 bucks. 40 bucks, yeah, with aces. That's not a lot, so I would give another one the chance to flop at least top pair, or at best top pair there too. And if you lose against 2 pair or something, then what can you do? That's the way of the game, but just winning 40 with aces is, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not the worst that can happen. But you should always try to maximize your winnings on these hands. And it's not very dangerous to have one guy in with a full stack and one with a short stack, because if you lose against him, you can still win against me. And win your money back plus 20, which is quite nice. And if you win against both, then you win 140. So with different stack sizes, I recommend having more people in the pot. because it doesn't hurt you too much if you lose against him. And if you lose against me, it doesn't matter what he has. You're not winning anything that way. Anyway, so yeah, that was quite a nice play of him. What was just unlucky for me how the cards rolled off. I mean, if I had a straight draw on the flop, I maybe would have called him as well, and then who knows what happens. I didn't really want to raise that. It was more a habit of raising than wanting to raise with the 7-4. Let's just hope we get through with it. As the table is getting a little bit tighter, as I showed a lot of good hands. But the short stack, the mighty short stack, is still a very dangerous opponent. I really hate him. I like it when it's like 4 short stacks on the table and it's all in every hand. Just fold the ace-8 there. Then it's okay, and you know you have to wait for a good hand and get it all in, and just hope you get lucky. But with 1 short stack you have to play normal against these guys, and then he will raise. And then you can't continue with your hand, unless you have a good hand. Which is not the case very often, with me playing 6-handed. And you can't call a re-raise against his stack with a mediocre hand. That's just, I mean, you almost always have to re-raise to get in his money, because what do you want to fold when calling $8 or $9 pre-flop for this 31 that is left? This is always already about 20 in it when you call a re-raise, and you only has 31 to bet left, and then you can't really fold. This is a tough spot with the a6. I have to call. Think I'm ahead of his range there on the button. But this flop is just retarded with the a6. It's more like his range than mine. More like the king, queen, king 10, queen 10, jack 10, jack 9, ace 9, king 9, whatever. Something like that. It's likely that he hit something, at least a straight rule. And then I don't really like it with the a6. We are 48 minutes in already. We're still losing exactly $16 and 2 cents, I think. Yep, 16.06. That's quite good after losing 120. But we could have got more here with the flush against nut straight. Just a freaking king. And I played it brilliant, I think. I let him catch a straight, then re-raised him to a lot. He should have pushed, I think. I mean, he didn't want to see the club either. He wanted to have his nut straight because he thought it was good, otherwise he can't call there. And he maybe even was trying to lure me in there. Just calling this for the odds. And it's a terrible, terrible flop. I might be able to take it away from a pair of jacks or something. But I don't want to try. Not this time at least. Yeah, he maybe tried to trap me in the end, thinking that I had a flush draw, and then when the king of clubs rolled off, he thought, fuck me. I just trapped the guy brilliantly with my nut straight, and then the freaking game has to give him another club to make his flush. But yeah, as you've seen, it was quite the other way around. At least he didn't bet it. Then I had to make a very tough decision, because I wasn't really sure what he had on the turn. Could easily have a big club as well, trying to do the flush with some sort of pair or straight draw or straight or something. That's like the first hand of the game. And that's like the flop of the first hand of the game. Nothing for me. I just see if he has a diamond. No, he doesn't. I don't too, but whoever bets first in these spots will take it down, I think. Because do we really want to raise the board where there are 4 of 1 suit? I don't think so. I like the Queen 9 as well as the Jack 9. And if it's suited, I really want to play it. He's betting 4. Somehow I don't think he has anything. Just bet. It's funny. That looked like stupid in my mind. There was a 7, a 4, and a 10. Was there even a flush draw? I don't think so. No, it was rainbow, and he bet 4 into 5 something against the small blind we just called. Looked like he wanted to stop the hand right there. Because why would you bet so much if you have like an overpair or a top pair with a good kicker? I mean, you can of course bet that much, but just looks a little bit fishy, I think. Come on, please raise. I don't want to play this hand. I have to call him if he decides to call or fold. If he raises, I can almost certainly fold. But no, I can't. And this is a pretty decent flop. Doesn't really matter what he has, I think. I really think he has nothing. I really think he has like Queen Jack again or King Queen or something. Straight, every 6, every deuce makes a straight now. I can catch a break against this guy, and he's probably gonna bet now. But he probably has the A6. He's checking. This would be a sick value bet there. Could have ace queen. I have to make a bet there. It's greedy, yes, but he could have had ace king or ace queen. If he checks the straight there, then he's just brilliant. He's just brilliant if he checks the straight. Yeah, ace king or ace queen. I bet like $10 he has ace queen. I'm right. Oh man, this was really well played. I have to compliment myself on that one. That was like a good read and really well played. So that is what you want to do. Just take this as example of playing online poker and do it, and then you might win a lot of money. I won't. I will get unlucky eventually and lose a lot. There's another 3. I think he has a pair of 7s and he won't fold it. How good am I? What's going on? He would have never folded to any bet there, unless I go all in. My gosh, my reads are right. I like spot on again. I'm amazed by myself. This doesn't happen very often. I'm just amazed how good I am. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's basically a little bit random right now. He could have had 8s or 9s or something, or 6 as well, but yeah, I was just guessing at 7s. But I was pretty sure that he had ace king or ace queen there. How he played the hand and everything. What am I doing right now? I called the pre-flop raise and now I'm betting into two guys. Out of position on a flush drawy board against a small stack. Don't do that ever. This is retarded poker and it's really bad. And I will pay the price for it right now. So he might re-raise. No, he folds. I think I can make him fold this flush draw. If he has a 6-9, then I'm doomed. If he has two pair, I'm doomed. If he has a set, I'm doomed. But I think he has a flush draw. It's like king, queen of hearts. Well, maybe he's gonna raise now. I don't know. Yeah, nice. So the bad play worked out. The idiot won. Still, I wouldn't recommend that. I was just distracted by commenting. I think the next orbit will be the last one as we are nearing the 57 minutes mark. 9-7 suited. Yeah, I don't really care if the guy calls in position because I want to hit a flop really big to continue here. I mean, I have to make a continuation bet raising from under the gun, of course, but I won't. He's raising me very often. But even against the flush draw, I have such bad odds. And he's playing really, really great, even if I don't know his hands. That's pretty good. Calling pre-flop and then raising on every flop, because it's highly unlikely I hit every flop and I have an overpay on every flop. So he's doing his job great. So you might be wondering how to read guys properly. It's not some sort of magic. Sometimes it's just guessing. I mean, all the time, probably. I have like exact reads like this on this guy. I was pretty sure he had what he had. But other than that, it's guessing and looking at their actions. Like here, I think he has air or not too decent hand. But I could be wrong as well. But I want to raise with the gut shot. I think ace-jack and everything else has to fold. Yeah. So it's basically looking at the actions, how they played the hand, how they played the last hands, and yeah, if a guy calls you, then you know something about his hand. Unless he totally floats you with garbage, then you know nothing, of course. But if a guy calls you, like on where I hit the flush and the guy hits a straight, if he calls on that, he either has a big club, he has two pair or set, or he has a straight. That's pretty much not any other option you could have there. So with him raising and me calling in the blind, I think I can put him on ace king a lot of the times. King 9's, it's also possible, but I think ace king is a more likely option. And yeah, I thought he had the ace king with some sort of club as well. But this is just guessing, because he wouldn't fold the nut straight there without a club or with the club, it doesn't matter. So yeah, you have to guess and you have to think about the hand, how the hand played, and then you can make reads like I did before and make sick value bets where there are 4 cards to a straight and get paid off by a worse hand. Because I knew he would call with the ace queen there. It was just a question of if I wanted to risk him re-raising in case he made a straight. But I think he would have bet a straight there a lot of the times. That's why I bet, actually. I don't think he would check there because I'm very likely to check behind unless I have a straight. And so it's kind of can rule out that he has a straight. That's a big re-raise. To have the right odds to call that, not precisely. But he's re-raising a lot as well. And now my decision hasn't been made for me. It's a big re-raise. Yeah. Looked exactly like aces. And it wasn't. It was ace king. Kings, ace king. Gosh, the guy had the nut flush draw as well. Yeah, saved the money there, sim raising. I would have probably lost a little bit more on the flop with a flush than just one overcard. That's a decent flop for jacks. I thought he would raise there. Let's just raise the last hand, as usually. I think I want to play another episode. It's getting late already, but I think it would pay off to play another one here. Because I have a big stack and he has a big stack and he's an idiot. And he's a maniac. And he's short stacked, okay. Let's just see.